Hello and welcome to part 4, the final part of the Space Invaders tutorial. So as you can see, the game's looking quite good. We've got the enemies shooting, we've got the player can move, the player can shoot, and we've got the destructible backgrounds thereabouts. What we'll do is we'll just sort a few glitches out first of all. So what we'll do is we'll just click on the enemy bullet. Let's hide the enemy bullets X and Y start because we don't need those at the moment. You'll probably notice that as the enemy shoots at the destructibles here, they don't always get destroyed. And the reason being is we just need to tweak this costume, the enemy explosion costume, and we'll just add a bit more of, oops, where's that gone? Here we go. Bit more solid, let's just make that a little bit smaller, bit more solid components to the center of it so that when it explodes, it does actually go and start to take a bit more out. Let's have a look. Let's try that. Let's try that now. Hopefully that will work. You can just mess with this, have a tweak it and see how it goes, and have a play with it till you get the right amount. But that's looking a little bit better now. That's okay. You just got to check it, make sure it's a little bit more solid. That seems to be going through. Good, excellent. Okay, good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get a look at doing the player lives so that the player's only got 3 lives. Once they lose 3 lives, then they have to restart the entire game. So what we need to do first of all is we're going to create ourselves upload a new sprite. And we're going to do a copy of the player. And the reason we're doing a copy of the player is because the lives. Oh, where's that? Let's move him back there. Let's just stop there. The reason we're doing a copy of the player is because in Space Invaders, the player lives are shown here down at the bottom left. So we're going to start off with 3, and we're going to do 1, 2, 3 here. So really quite simple. At the start of the game, we need to set it to 3 lives. So what we can do here is we can just cheat. And the first costume, here we go. What we'll do, convert to vector, just zoom out a little bit, and oops, no one do that, don't do that. Get this one here. Let's put him there with the, there you go. And what we do is we just copy this here to there like that. 1, 2, and 3. Move that up slightly. There we go. So we're going to display all 3 lives there. So that there at the start of the game's got 3 lives. So we'll change that to 3. And then all we need to do is duplicate it. That one is going to be 2. Duplicate. Delete. Delete. That one's going to be 1. There we go. Make sure these are in the right order. So we've got 1 life, 2 lives, 3 lives. And all we need to do for the... actually, we need to do one more as well, don't we? We need to do... Let's just do this time. We'll do an empty sprite. There we go. And that's 0 lives. Good. Move that right to the top there. Good. And all we need to do here is we just say, okay, at the start of the game, forever, set the costume to the number of lives. Switch costume to, and then we got 0, 1, 2, 3. And that's going to be whichever, we'd have to replace this 3 with the number of lives. So click onto backdrops because the stage is going to control this. And at the start of the game, we need a new variable called player lives. Make a variable, player lives. And at the start of the game, set player lives to 3. Good. And now, where's this player 2? That's not player. What is this? Here we go. Good. That's called player lives. Good. There we go. Switch to costume. And then we're just going to switch to costume player lives. Here we go. So now There you can see player lives 3, which means it's switched to costumes 3, so that it's got 3 costumes. Now all we need to do is we need to get the enemy bullet so that when it's, so we get the player so that when it touches the enemy bullet, we know the player needs to lose a life and the enemy bullet needs to die. So what we can do here is we're going to use some, oh, no, actually what we'll do there, we're going to do a similar thing to here on the enemy bullet, but this time we're just going to check to see if it's touching the player. So if we are, let's do it after this one, if we are touching the player, if we're touching the player, then we need to change the lives by 1. So that change player lives by 1. Not by 1, by -1. Change player lives by -1. And we need to delete this clone. We'll just use that. There we go. So if we're touching the player loses a life and we delete that clone. So let's see if that works. Let's have a look. We hit the thing. Okay, well, it sort of works because the player lives went down from 3 to 2. So that bit works, but it's displaying the wrong amount of lives at the bottom. And that's pretty easy to fix. And it's to do with this one here. What we need to do is this forever's not going to work. Well, the forever's going to work, but we just need to do it a little bit more specific. And what we do is, the problem we've got is it's this bit here because the costume numbers, they start 1, 2, 3, 4, but we've got 0, 1, 2, 3. It's not going to work like that because we've got the 0. So what we'll do is we'll just be a little bit more specific. So switch to costume. Let's have a look. 0, 1, 2, 3. So if player lives, we'll just have to do an if statement. So if player lives equals 2, then we switch to costume. Let's have a look. Costume. Oh, I've got costume number. I wonder if I can give these a different. You can use name, costume. Let's just change this. I want to still do this on 0 lives. I don't know why it was doing that. 1 life. 2 lives. Let's see if this makes it a little bit. 3 lives. I didn't really want to have to do it this way, but well, let's just see if that works like that. So if the player lives equals 2, switch to 2 lives. We'll just duplicate that now. 3, go to 3 lives. I don't know why that wasn't doing that, but never mind. Oh, no, it can't be 4. What we got? 2, 1 life, go to 1. And if player lives equal 1, 2, 1, 0, 0 lives. Let's see if that works. So we try it a bit like that. Let's see if that one works a bit better. It's just been a bit glitchy before. Let's have a look. So here we go. This is where there we go. 2, yeah, 1, 0. Perfect, good. So now the lives are working. Every time we get hit, then the player loses a life, which is good. Okay, so now all we need to do is when it gets to 0 lives, we need to display a game over screen, which is nice and simple. So there we go, blah, 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 blah. This is the player lives. Here we are. All we have to do is when the game starts, all we'll do is we'll just wait until the player lives equals 0. And then we'll stop all the other scripts, hide all the other characters, and put a game over screen. So wait until player lives equals 0. And then we'll just do a broadcast saying game over. Game over. New message, game over. Game, no, not game. New level, new message, game over. Game over. So broadcast game over. And now let's have a look. What happens when we broadcast game over? Well, the backdrop here is going to switch to the game over, which we haven't got. So let's create a new one. This one is game screen. Okay, so let's create another backdrop, which is a duplicate of that one. And all this one is going to do is we'll click on there. Let's change it to pixel. And let's choose the same green color because we're going with this kind of retro green. And let's just put game over. There we go. We'll make that a bit bigger. And they can always click to start again. There we are, game over. We'll probably get it to display their score as well below there in a minute, but we haven't got a score yet. This is the game over screen. Screen, good. There we go, game over screen. Okay, and now all we need to do is we need to, for each of these sprites, we probably want to hide them and stop all the other scripts. So when I receive game over, it's going to be pretty much the same for most of them. When I receive game over, all we do is, what's this, the player, stop all other scripts and hide. Stop all other scripts in this sprite and we will hide. Motion hide. There we go. When I receive game over, stop all other scripts in this sprite and hide. And we'll do that the same for all of the others. That hopefully will work. Let's find out. Has that gone on to the other ones? Has that you done that now? Oh no. No, it's not working. Hang on. I don't know why, but for some reason my my dragging between sprites isn't working today. So let's just put that there. And that's in there. In fact, is that working at all? Does that put that there maybe? Oh, I don't know. Let's just recode it. Oh no, that one's got it. Good. That's okay. When I receive game over. That one's got when I receive game over. That one's got receive game over. That one's got, oh yes, it's done it. I don't know why it's not done it on the player lives one. Okay, well, let's find out. Here we go. So we click start. And okay, we can already see one glitch, which is when we receive game over, broadcast game over, we need to switch the backdrop to the game over screen. But then we also need to switch it to the game screen as well at the start. So you can see that. That's in the backdrop. Yep, good. There we go. And let's just see what happens here. Let's try and lose some lives. Down to 2 lives. 2 lives, 1 life. There we go. Game over. Perfect. What's that one? That's the enemy bullet, isn't it? And that's because... yeah, that's because the other scripts in this one haven't stopped. So we also need to stop other scripts in this sprite as well. Stop. In fact, we'll just stop other scripts in this sprite. And that will fix that as well. Okay, let's see if this helps. Okay, good. Now we've got one more problem here. Well, not problem, one thing we just need to code in. Of course, we've hidden the player, but now what we need to do is every time we start the level, we also need to show the player again. Otherwise, he's going to be invisible. There we go. That's better. Good. So now we've got the player shooting the enemies shooting at the player, if he loses all his lives, then it's game over. The only other thing to do now is to do a scoring system. So the scoring system for Space Invaders is quite simple. If we just die on this one, let me show you. Where's he at? Almost one. Is he not dead? Why is he not dead yet? Come on. Quick. This is... So, there we go. Play again. So the score... Oh, it doesn't show you. Well, basically, you get 10 points for these bottom ones, 20 points for the middle ones, 30 points for the top one, and then the red one, which we haven't coded yet, is a random number between 1 and 100. Okay. Whoa, okay. So... now what we need to do is code it so we've got a score. So we're going to need another variable and create the variable and call it score. And this is going to keep track of the score. Okay, so we go back to the stage because he's in charge of everything. And at the start of the game, we set the score to 0, which is good. That's fine. And now every time an enemy dies, we need to increase the score. So where are we at? Here we go. Enemy fire. There we go. Where is my enemy? Here we are. Where's my explosion gone? I can't find him. Ah, there you go. Switch to explosion, that one. So this bit here is the bit that controls when he dies. So what we'll do is just before we die, we'll change the score. And what we need to do here is, depending on what row he lives on, then it's going to be a different amount, isn't it? So here, if his row, my row equals 1 or 2, actually, I know what we can do. We'll do a slightly different version of that. We'll do an if-else. So if his row, this will be slightly more complicated, slightly more simpler code. So where's it? My row. Good. If my row is less than row 3, then we know he's one of these bottom 2 rows, in which case you increase the score by 10. Variables. Change the score by 10. Otherwise, if the row is less than 4, now 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, less than 5. Less than 5. If the row is less than 5, then we know it's going to be 20. Otherwise, we know the killing sum at the top, so it's going to change the score by 30. Cool. And now we just put this bit in here. There we go. Let me just show you that. Zoom out. Let's make my backpack small again. There we go. I'll move that out of the way somewhere. Down there. There you go. So you can see that there, it's gone in there. So when we come to kill this particular enemy, if his row is less than 3, then we go extra by 10. Otherwise, if the row is less than 5, we increase by 20. Otherwise, we increase by 30. So let's see if that works. Let's just make that big again. Let's make sure that's working. So if I shoot the bottom row, that's 10 points. 10 points, good. There you go, 20 points. 20 points. Can I get that top row? There we go. Oops, let's just move top row. Yay, that's working perfectly. Good. So the scoring system is now working, which is good. Now all we need to do is a couple more things. We need to get the level working so that if we run out of enemies, we move on to the next level. And we also need to get the saucer working. So let's get the saucer working first. He's really, really simple. Okay, so what we need to do is we'll just show him for the moment. Good, let's move him there. And all he does is every time at the start of the level, what he does, so when I receive start level, he goes right off to the left, just here, and he hides. And he just keeps going backwards and forwards, really. So forever, let's have a look, repeat, let's have a look, 20 times, or 20 times, 30 times or something. Let's say it's going to go 600, let's do 60 times. There we are. We'll wait 15 seconds in between each time, but we'll do it straight off first. I'm going to move this. In fact, I'll do a 3-second wait for the moment. The actual wait time is about 15 seconds, but I'll put it at 3 for the moment. So we wait 3 seconds, and then we show, and then repeat. All we do is we go across to the right by changing the change the X by 10. There you go, that'll bring him all the way to the right. And then we bring him all the way back to the left again. Minus 10. Let's just try that. There we go. See if that 1, 2, 3. Let's see if that works. Show. Where's he gone? Forever. Oh, there he is. Okay, let's not do 600 times. Let's do 60 times, isn't it? That's why. Let's do 30 times. I'll get these changed in a minute. There we go. So all he needs to do is, when I receive start level, where's he gone? Oh, it's because it's a 3-second delay. That's why. 1, 2, 3. he needs to go, oh, so I've not moved him to the left, that's why. Right, that's why. Here we go. He needs to start over here. So go to there. So when I receive start level, we go all the way to the left, and then we move over there, and then we move there. Let's just see if that works. 1, 2, 3. There we go, and he should go back. Good, good. So there we are. That's okay. Brilliant. Let's do that by 40. In fact, we'll do that 50 times. We'll just move him a little bit less. Just tweak. Basically, you want to tweak these values until it's looking how you want him to look. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3. And he should. There you go. So he'll go all the way to there, all the way back. And then after he's done that, then we need to hide him again. Where's the hide? Oops. There we are, hide. There we are. And we'll move him a little bit further. Let's do 80 times maybe. Let's have a look. Again, you can have a play with this. Get the figures that you want. Let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 80. All the way across. Oh, nearly there. Maybe 90. And all the way back. Go, run that again. Let's see if that works. 1, 2, 3. Yep, goes all the way across, all the way back, and then you should hide and wait another 3 seconds. Good. Yep, that's fine. That's perfect. And then all we need to do here is each time inside of here, when we're moving to the right and to the left, just check to see if we're touching the player's bullet, one of the player bullets. So if touching the player bullet, where's the player bullet? If we're touching the player bullet, then we need to hide. There we are, good. And we'll do that with the other one as well. If we're touching the player bullet, we just hide. So if we're touching the player's bullet, we hide. And then we also increase the score. So change the score. Change score. There we are. Change the score by some amount. Somewhere between, let's say between 50 and 100. Let's say, so in order to do it between 50 and 100, but only do it in whole numbers of tens, then really what we want to do is between 5 and 10, which will get us a random number like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10, and then just multiply that number by 10. So that will get us something in a multiple of 10 that will add to the score. Duplicate that and put that in there. There we go. Brilliant, there you go. So 5. So that should, if we hit the red thing, then it should do that, which we'll check in a bit. Let's just see if that works. Here we go. Let's put my player here. Hey, did I get that? Did I get that? I don't know because I've hidden the score. Well done, Richard. Maybe we should hide the score. Score. Yeah, I have done it. Look, there you go. So it increased my score by 70. Excellent. Good. Good. So that's working, which is good. Let's see if I can get him again. Oh, nearly. No, never mind. Okay. Okay, so the red guy's working. My score's here. We'll just leave the score there. Now all we need to do is we need to get the level system working. So how is the level system going to work? Well, when you first start the game, the way that Space Invaders gets harder is the two ways. Number one, when these guys are moving down, every time you kill one of the bad guys, they start to move a little bit quicker. The reason being, actually, the reason this is the case, it wasn't deliberately programmed like that. It was due to a limitation of the original hardware that caused it, which meant that as you had less enemies, there was less resources being used, so it actually sped itself up. It wasn't being deliberately slowed down. This is the fastest the system could go. So we need to make them move a little bit faster, depending on how many enemies there are. Which actually isn't too hard to do. And let me show you how that works. So it's to do with this flip-flopping here, because normally in between each flip-flop we wait 1 second, which is 1,000 milliseconds, or you could do it in 100 100ths of a second. So what we can do instead is, instead of waiting 1 second, we can wait a different amount of time depending on how many of the items are in that list. Because so where's the enemy clone numbers here? So if we go and get the length of the enemy clone numbers at the start of the game, that's going to be 55. So what we can do here is we do there we go. Divide that by 10. Not by 10. Divide by 100. Which is going to give us 5,500 for the second, and add that to 50. I think 50. I think that'll work. Let's find out. So hopefully, at the start of the game, 50 plus the length of that, divided by 100. Oh, hang on, that's not right. No, it needs to be... it's 50 plus that divided by 100. So that could be... that hopefully now will mean that at the very start we will wait just over a second in between each one, and then each time each time an enemy gets killed, then it will go a little bit faster. Let's find out, shall we? Let's just shoot some enemies, and by the time you get hardly enemies any left, it should be going really, really quickly. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Oops. I think that's moving faster. I don't really know, actually. Let's have a look. Not moving any faster. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I think it's moving. Let's do 30. There we are. Let's do that. That's a little bit quicker. There we go. And that hopefully should be giving a little bit more of a delay. In fact, let's just find out. Let's just create ourselves a variable. Let's just check that. One way we can do that is just create a temp variable. We're going to put it there. That's a temporary variable. What we'll do is we'll just set the temp to whatever it is here. Duplicate that. Set temp. There we go. 0.85. And let's just see what happens if I shoot that now. There you go. So you can see that now. Yeah, so it is working. As I kill the baddies, it is slowly speeding up, which is good. 75, 74, good. So it is, yes, brilliant. So that is working good. So what, we don't need that temp variable, but I'll leave it in there because I can't bother moving it out. I just use that as that's known as a bit of scaffolding code there, just to find out what's happening. We can delete that later on, but we don't need to do that anyway. Okay, so that's all about there. That's moving that faster. And the other way that it gets more difficult is that as you go from one level to the next level, all of these robots here, all of these here start further down. So at the moment, I've got it hard coded so that every time we press start, they always start in the same position right at the top. But we don't want to do that. We want to move them, get it so that it's a little bit, every level, as the level increases, then we move them further down. But in order to do that, the first thing we're going to need to do is create ourselves another variable, and this one is going to be the level. And at the start of the game, we set the level to level 1. Level 1, there we go. And then when we're placing the player, the enemy, which is just here, and when I start as a clone, where is it? Has it gone? When I start as a clone, here we go. This bit of code here that determines where he starts, the Y coordinate is not going to be just 0 every time. It's going to be, we're going to do it multiplied by the level. So, and the easiest way to do this is we're going to go, it's going to be minus 0, all that lot, and then we're going to minus a little bit of a thing. So as the level goes up, then it will go down by. So what we'll do here is we're going to use a minus all of this minus. Let's just make that a bit smaller. Here we go. And it's going to be minus the level times by whatever the thing you're going to move it. Now let's say 10 or 20 or something. Let's go 20, 30. Yeah, let's do that. Level times by 30. So at the start of the game, let's have a look. There we go. Now it's already started them further down, so we probably want to just offset that by doing 30 there, which will start them a bit further up. Good. Okay, good. So now when it's level 1, they all start up there. Okay, but what we want to say now is whenever we kill all of the baddies, when the baddie amount reaches 0, then we start a new level and we increase the level by 1. So we can do that here. We can do that here on this. Oops, where's that just gone? Have I just deleted something? I just messed something up there. Oh, that needs to go there, doesn't it? There we go. Just dragged the wrong thing onto the wrong thing. Let's just try that. Hey, that's better. I was getting a bit scared then. Let's have a look. Okay, they're all moving. Okay, good. Okay, so now what we need to do is I need to work out what I was actually doing. Okay, so at the end of the level, when there's none of the enemy left, so the length of the enemy list is 0, then we need to move on to the next level. So that's really, really easy. All we do here is we just go, okay, at the start of the level, when I receive start level, there we go. When I receive start level, there we go. We'll just wait a second because this next piece of code, you don't want it to check right at the start because at the start, the list is empty. So we'll just wait a second before we check this, before we get moving. And if the length of the enemy clone numbers equals 0, go. If the length of the enemy clone number equals 0, then what we do is we change the level by 1, make a variable. Oh no, not that, make a level. Change the level by 1. Change the level by 1 and then broadcast new level. Broadcast start level. Broadcast start level. Okay, good. Now, what I'm going to do for the moment is to test this. Obviously, I don't want to have to kill 55 baddies, so we'll just put 1 there for the moment. We'll change that back to 11. There we go. And we'll just use this to just check for the moment. There you go, 1, 2, and I'm just keeping an eye out on the level to see what happens. Let's have a look. 1, 2. See if we can hit this one. There we go. And now it should go to the next level. No, it won't do that because we're not doing if. What we're doing is we're waiting until. We're doing a wait until, not if. Otherwise, because an if statement will only ever check once. And it will do it instantly. What we want to do is do a wait until and then do that. Let's try that again. Let's try that again. So here we go. Shoot these 1, 2, 3 of those down, 4 of them down, and hopefully now it will switch to level 2. Oh, okay, hang on. Got an issue. Let's have a look. And we got an issue with this. Okay. Length of the. Oops, hang on. Oops. Okay. We've got 5 in there at the moment. For some reason, this isn't working. Let's have a look. Okay, so let's have a look. We'll have to debug this slightly because at the moment, the enemy numbers here aren't matching what's inside of there. So let's find out what with each enemy when he dies, when I shoot it, let's find out what number he thinks it is. So wait until there you go. When he's been shot, wait, broadcast enemy killed. Wait until touching the player bullet. At this point, just before I switch to costume explosion, let's say my number. Let's find out what each one thinks it is, because something's not quite right there, is it? Let's have a look. There we go. This is just one of the many debugging techniques. Okay, so there you go. 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay, so the one at the top there thinks he's number 6. Okay. So let's have a look. So he thinks he's number 6. Why is that? Oh, yeah, that's why. Because here I've changed the current column before I've created a clone. So it'll only ever start on column 2. That's no good. What we need to do is make sure that that current column changes at the end, not at the start. There we go. Would that work? Let's see if that works. Maybe that works now. Let's have a look. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Create a clone of myself. Let's have a look. Why is that doing that? Enemy clone number 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Okay, so they're all one number off, and I think I know why that is. I think what we need to do is just add a tiny little weight in here. Let's do 0.05 seconds. Let's have a look. Let's put that. Create a clone of the enemy, and let's just wait a little bit of time while the enemy, when it clones, it sets the. Okay. Hang on a minute. Yeah, that's why. Let's have a look. I think that's probably something to do as well. Let's get rid of that. When I start as a clone. Oh no, that's probably not it. When I start as a clone. Where's the other one gone? When I receive animate. Where's my other bits gone? Where's this thing? Here we go. Where's this stuff that it sets it to? Here we go. When I start as a clone. My row to current row. Set my row. That's why here. Yeah, okay. Slight mistake there. Let's put that there first. I think this broadcast, the animate broadcast, is slowing everything down, and therefore by the time he sets his row, that the thing that's going through and generating all the numbers is generating the wrong numbers. Let's have a look. Let's see if that's any closer. 5, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, a little bit of a glitch there. And you'll often get this when you're making the games. There we go, perfect. And now you can see it switched to level 2. Good, okay. Let's. So what we'll do now is we will go back to the game over, go back to the main screen. It did seem to be wanting to go to level 2. Let's just try that. What we'll also do is let's just hide all these, leave the level there, look at the score, but let's hide the enemy clone numbers. Let's just see how this is going, make sure it's all working okay. So we fire. We're almost up to level 2. Fire, and there we go. Yes, now we're on to level 2 and it's restarted, which is great. Brilliant. So what we'll do now then is we'll replace, so it is going to the next level, which is fine. So we'll turn this back to 11 so that we've got back to the full size thing. Good, there we go. We don't need that 0.05, I don't think, but we'll leave it in there because I don't mind it at the start while it's setting them up. Here we go. Okay, so it is working. All we need to do now is at the start of each level, we need to show what level it is. So let's just stop that. And at the start of each level, we just want to display something that says level and then level, whatever, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what we can do now is we'll create ourselves a new sprite and we'll paint it. Oh no, yeah, let's paint it. Paint a new sprite. And this is going to be the level sprite. So costume is going to be 1. This is going to be level 1. And all it's going to do is it's going to say level 1. Level 1. Good. Here we go. Level 1. You can go there. We'll do it like that. There we go. Oh, no, like that. There you go. Level 1. Just move him there. Level 1. Good. And then all we do, that's costume 1, level 1. Duplicate. That's going to be level 2. You could do this with as many as you like, but I'm just going to do it for 3 levels at the moment because I've not got time to do it for all of them. There you go. Level 4. Here we go. So that's going to tell us which level. You're probably going to want to do about level 1 to 20 or something like that. And now what we do is we just do, okay, when start clicked, we'll just hide. Where's my hide? Hide, 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 hide. And then when we broadcast new level, so when I receive new level, start level, we'll switch the costume to whatever the level is. So switch costume to, and then whatever the level is, variable level. There we are. And then we'll show for a second, or 2 seconds or something. Yeah, let's show. We'll show for 2 seconds and then we're going to hide, but we'll just show for 2 seconds. Show, wait 2 seconds, and then hide. And what we'll do is, before we start, when we receive here with the background, before we start creating all the extra sprites here on the start level, what we'll do is we'll also wait for 2 seconds as well while it displays the, oh, there you go, erase all, and then we'll wait 2 seconds before it displays it. So hopefully now, before the level starts, it will do, there you go, level 1, 1, 2, and then it will go, hang on, something's not gone quite right there, is it? Why is this going level 1, 2, 3? Oh, yes, I know why. And that's because this one here, the start level, that needs to, let's wait 10 seconds. You're not going to be able to destroy the level before 10 seconds. There you go. Level 1, 2 seconds, and now all of the enemies start appearing, and he starts appearing there at the top as well. Good. Excellent. Oh, we also don't need the we don't need that level thing to appear in the middle. So let's get rid of the level there. Also, the score here in the bottom, the last improvement here, would set the score so it appears up here and it appears as text. So let's do that last one here. Okay, so in order to do that, we need to create ourselves a new sprite. So go to Paint, and then what we're going to do is we're going to click here, and let's just start with 0. Make sure it sits in the middle. So if you zoom in, make sure your 0 is in the middle or at the same point for each one. So there's a 0, and I'll just do that 0. Okay, and then we'll just duplicate and change those through. Duplicate 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, duplicate 9. Okay, good, 9. Okay, now it's interesting to note here, you can see how, although we've started at 0, the number starts at 1. So we're going to have to change that in a bit to make sure that it matches. But we'll leave that for the moment. So you've got 0 all the way through to 9, but they start counting at 1. So we're going to have to offset that when we display it. So there's our digit. And all we need to do is, at the start of the game, all we do is we show it. And then we just need to get it to display whatever the score is whatever the digit that matches the correct digit. Now the zeros, the most right-hand digit, is never going to change. That's always going to be a 0. So we'll just leave that, and then we'll just click duplicate, because that's so that's that first one. The second digit, which I think should be just over, oh, there it is, he's here. The second digit and all the other digits, they are going to change, and that needs to match. And this needs to match the second. If it's 10, for instance, the score's 10, this needs to say 1. And then we need to do the same thing for all the other digits further along. Now, how do we do that without coding lots and lots of code? Well, actually, there's a really, really simple way of doing it. And all we need to do is we're going to need to get the score, and we're going to need to know the length of the score, because that'll determine which digit it is. And we just say, okay, we need to go and get a letter, depending on which length of the score it is. And we're going to need a minus, okay, and we're also going to need a +1 as well. So what we do is we go and get the length of the score. Let's have a look. Here we go, length of the score. For the second digit, we're going to need to get the second digit, which is the length of the score minus 1. Because if the score has 3 digits, then it's going to be the second digit along, so minus long. And then we know we need to go and get that digit, letter, whatever it is. There you go, the letter thing off there. And then when we come to switch our costume, we just need to add 1 to the one that we get. Switch costume, and now hopefully this will, if we run it, when we play, if we shoot, there we go. Oops, that's not working, is it? Nope. Oh, I know why. That's because it needs to be in a forever loop. There we go. Let's try that. Let's have a look. Okay. That's still not working. Nope. Okay, so I've just done that slightly wrong. So you go and get the length of the score, the letter of, oh, that's because we're not getting it of apple, getting score. There we go. That's better. Let's try that. There you go. So now you can see it's doing something really, really clever, where if the score's 0, it's only got 1, the length of it's only 1, so it doesn't do anything. But as the score increases, it goes up. That's 2 digits. If we right click and duplicate it, there's our third digit. Let's move him there. And this time it's not -1, it's -2, because you need to get the third digit along. So let's just try that. And you can do that as many as you like. You can just keep going up as far as you like. Let's just make sure it works over 100. Yeah, there you go. And there it does. You can see it's going up all the way up, and it's matching the score that's being displayed. Good. There we go. And let's just add 2 more digits onto there. Duplicate. And that last one is going to be, that one's going to be minus, what's that one? -1, -2. So this has to be -3. And that'll do the thousands. And then you can just keep going that for tens of thousands or whatever you want. There you go. Brilliant. Okay, well, that's quite a bit longer than I thought it would be. In fact, let's just change that saucer. Let's get him to wait 10 seconds before we show rather than 3. A little bit longer, that tutorial, than I thought it would be. But it's because it's a full game, full retro game. So, but hopefully it's great fun. And hopefully you've learned something about building bigger games, where it's just more and more kind of layers on top of each layer. But there we go. There is our brilliant Space Invaders game, and I hope you've enjoyed it. If you do like it, then please do comment. If you've got this far, then just comment the words bananas in the comments to show that you've managed to make it to the end of the tutorial, because you'll be one of the very few people that have made it to the end. So just put a crazy comment like bananas or nuts or whatever you want to put in the end of the comments. And if you do like it, then like and subscribe. If you don't like it, or if you've got suggestions to improve it or some other tutorial that you want, then feel free to comment. And other than that, enjoy your day and good luck scratching.